Okay, so I've always thought that the car sounds and the drums in Outrun were a little muffled when coming out of the cabinet. And so the way to, I guess, to deal with that is to add an equalizer before the amplifier in the cabinet. However, the problem is that these sounds come out of the custom PCM. And on the audio path from the custom PCM, there are two low pass filters, the MF6 50s. So if you add an equalizer right before the amplifier in the cabinet, you'll be essentially changing the signal has already been filtered. So what I've decided to do is to see whether we can actually change the frequency cutoff from those MF60 low-pass filters. And the way these filters work is at least the cutoff frequency is determined by a simple resistor and capacitor oscillator. So by varying for example, by varying the resistance here, we will be able to change the cutoff frequency and perhaps have a different, slightly different audio output from the PCM, perhaps make it a little clearer. So what I have here is the game is actually running right now, a regular Outrun PCB. And what I did is I essentially took off those two resistors that reside next to those MF6 50s. Their location was right between that IC here and the capacitor. So there are two of those, and one handles the left, the other one handles the right signal. So what I did is I installed a header and then some wiring that goes all the way to a little circuit I have here that has two 10K pots. And the reason why I chose a 10K pot is because the original resistor was 10 kilo ohms. So what I'll be able to do here is play audio through the game and then change the resistance over here for each of the channels, left or right, and then hopefully we'll be able to change the cutoff frequency and maybe make the sound a little bit better. So once we figure out which one is the best position for the variable resistor, we can go ahead and measure resistance there and then make perhaps install a regular resistor at these positions here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play a few sounds and then I'll be changing the resistor, and then we'll be able to play again the same sound and see if it makes a difference. So I have the Outrun PCB hooked up to my amplifier here, and I have not modified any of the bass or treble or balance settings. There's no loudness enhancement. And what I'll do is I'll just hook up the camera over here and I'll start playing the sounds. So right now we are at 10 kilo ohms in each of the channels, and let's hear crash one. One more time. One more time. Okay, let me change the resistor now to about, let's say, about 3 kilo ohms. You hear the difference? Okay, this is probably around 3 kilo ohms. It's about a little closer to 3, maybe 2.5, something like this. So this is about, let's say, 3 kilo ohms approximately. Let's go back to the normal 10 kilo ohms. Let's see how it sounds. You hear the difference? All right, one more time. Let's go back to about 3 kilo ohms. Let's listen to it again. It's a little clearer, right? All right, let's go and play now the wave sound with 10 kilo ohms, basically the original resistor. Let's hear it. All right, now let's go to about 3 kilo ohms. difference. Let's go back to the 10 kilo ohms. That's 10 kilo ohms. This is about 3 kilo ohms. Okay, so now let's move to music. Let's put music number 1. We're going back to 10 kilo ohms. Let's listen to this. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to put it around 3 kilo ohms. Go back to 10 kilo ohms. See how muffled it sounds? Let's go to around 3 kilo ohms. A lot better. Cool thing, you can actually eliminate the PCM sounds altogether, so we've gone all the way to almost 0 ohms. You can't hear the PCM sounds now. It's just the FM synthesis. Let's bring the drums back. Play music number 2. Let's go back to 10 kilo ohms. Okay, that's 10 kilo ohms. Let's go to about 2.5 to 3 kilo ohms. Back to 10 kilo ohms. Do you hear how muffled it sounds? Okay, let's go back to around 3. Much clearer. Let's take out the PCM. Let's bring it back. This is about 3 kilo ohms. Okay, now let's go to the last music. Let's do music number 3. This is 10 kilo ohms. Let's go to around 3 kilo ohms. That sounds pretty good. Alright, so what I want to do now is actually measure the resistance. I think it was around 3 kilo ohms. Let's just make a measurement. measuring about, it's a little jumpy, is about between about 2 kilo ohms here, 2.2 kilo ohms. Okay. All right. Let's go now. Let's do the crash one more time. Okay. Let's crash one more time. That's with the 2 kilo ohms, and then let's go to 10 kilo ohms and listen to this. That's 10 kilo ohms. And this is about, let's say about 2.5 kilo ohms. Let's listen to it. Much better. A little bit. That's much better. All right. So I think that's all for the time being. I think it was a pretty good exercise. So I think I'm gonna make a little board and install it into my OutRun and just see how it actually sounds from the original speakers. All right. Thanks, guys.